action of the day, and the centre today moved the Supreme Court against National Green Tribunal's decision to impose a ban on diesel vehicles older than 10 years in the Delhi NCR region. Now, the government said that the threshold should be extended to 15 years and added that the ban should apply to petrol cars as well. Ashmit Kumar, who has been tracking all the newsroom action very closely, joins us now. Hi, Ashmit. Good to have you on the show. The NGT order had caused a huge uproar when it was passed in 2015. What else did the centre say today? And from what we learn, the Supreme Court had some harsh words for the centre as well on this.
Indeed, as you rightly pointed out, the NGT beginning December of 2015 had slapped that diesel ban order on vehicles older than 10 years from plying on Delhi NCR roads, and that is something that in fact the government, the central government by way of the Heavy Industries Ministry had in fact expressed concerns before the NGT itself on various occasions. Now we understand that the government appears to have taken that plunge, the next step, which in this case happens to be an appeal before the apex court. And essentially, as again you rightly pointed out, what the government is essentially seeking is relaxation of that ban to ensure that vehicles not older than 10 but 15 years are the ones that are banned. That's relaxation that the government is seeking. The government has also gone on to argue by way of its application that it is looking for a fuel-neutral policy and that the government feels that diesel is being villainized at this point at the expense and that is not a sustainable strategy going forward, that even petrol is responsible for emissions such as CO2, and that also needs to be kept in mind before formulating a policy that particularly concentrates on one particular fuel. So the government's position is quite clear. 15-year ban is what they're essentially looking at, and a fuel-neutral policy is what they're gunning for by way of this application before the apex court. They've also gone on to argue and supplementing their position by citing, in fact, various reports to say that vehicular pollution is not the only cause of pollution. There are other factors such as road dust, there are other factors such as construction, which needs to be kept in mind, and that such measures should not be deemed to be arbitrary, should not be unfair, and that's essentially the stance that the government will be taking. We understand that the apex court will take up the government's application for hearing on January 20th. That's the coming Friday. Back to you.
All right. All eyes would be